Wow, what a day. That's right, I'm excited. I'm excited because today we are making money. That's right, baby. We're making some money tonight. The playoffs have taken a complete turn, though, with a lot of injuries. Joel Embiid, Anthony Davis, Chris Paul to some extent. But the 76ers without Joel Embiid are a different team. We all know that. That doesn't mean they won't win this game or win the series. I still think they'll win the series. But +6 Wizards, we'll get into it. So, as of late, I would say the past 3 days has been good. I know I haven't been consistent enough. Labor Day weekend. And it was fun. It was a fun weekend for sure. And we made some money. Did I say Labor Day weekend? Memorial Day. My bad. That's on me. Memorial Day. But we made some money though, okay? Yesterday took the Blazers in the first half, +6.5, first half +11.5. I doubled down because I wasn't too sure about the 6.5 anymore, but I figured they'd at least cover 11.5. They ended up losing by 3 at the half. They came back ferociously, and unfortunately down the stretch, Dame didn't have enough help. It is what it is. The Nuggets took a game that they needed to take at home. It's win or go home for the Blazers in Game 6. That'll be interesting, so we'll see you guys tomorrow for that game. But that Game 4 for the Sixers and the Wizards, we were like, well, they could get a gentleman's sweep, but nobody took into account that Joel Embiid could get injured, and he got injured. It's unfortunate. Big guys like him, like Anthony Davis, are always on that cusp of, man, is he going to get injured today? So you always have to hold your breath for these types of bigs who are extremely skilled, extremely talented, phenomenal players, great players. But it's always in the back of your mind, okay, it's just going to be the game where it's over for my team. If they're on the Lakers or the Sixers, is it over for us? And those are questions the Laker fans are asking themselves right now. Without AD, the Suns are in a great position to close out that series. They were down by 30 at the half. So if you didn't take the Suns yesterday, -4.5, he's silly goose, because that was a lock. That was easy. The Suns without AD, that was a lock, man. -4.5. And then the Nets, they were all about business. They ended up closing out both 11.5 and 12.5. They covered the first half. They were on a mission to just, hey, we want to face the Bucks this weekend. Let's get to it. Let's get some rest, and we'll let the rest take care of itself. So we can't wait for that series as well. Bucks, Nets is going to be a hell of a series, man. It's going to be a hell of a series. How's everybody doing, brother? Buddha, Dome, Mitchell, Isaac. What's up, yo? Let's talk Dame, though. Yeah, man. Javier, we have a group chat where, we consistently go back and forth. And, he was talking about him not having enough help, blah, blah, blah. But we can all make an argument that this is the best team he's ever been on. So whether or not that counts for something, we have to make, and we got to take into account, this is probably the most talented team he's ever been on, period. So obviously, separate from him not getting enough help, you can make the same argument for, Jokic or Tatum, right? For these guys who put up big numbers. So it's easy to say, oh, this guy put up 55 points but didn't get help. Yes and no. No, because his other guys should have stepped up. But at the same time, it's okay, well, you were scoring the buckets. And it goes both ways. He's not a great defender either. And he's my favorite player. So I can say this about him. He's not a great defender. He struggles on that side of the floor. But without CJ hitting that big three going into in the fourth quarter, he doesn't get a chance to hit that final three that tied the game, and then that put the game into overtime. So again, hindsight 2020, you can say he doesn't have enough help, but he didn't score every single point either. Let's not get carried away. He has help. He has talent. I just feel like their defensive scheme is trash. they don't have any good defenders, and he's one of those bad defenders on that team. So, I was talking about that on my prospect breakdown today. I broke down Keon Johnson, and I was talking about how much he reminded me of Nasir Little, right? And a guy like Nasir Little who we think as a prospect, like when you grade him as a prospect, when you evaluate him, okay, he has defensive versatility. I'm getting off topic, but how is it that Nasir can't get minutes on a team that needs defensive versatility and is awful defensively? Something's wrong there. Either Nasir's not very good, or he's not as good as we thought he was coming into the draft. And Keon Johnson potentially. I'm kind of giving the preview to my video. We don't know with Keon, right? He's a guy. He's a high risk, high reward type guy. But let's get back to today. 76ers against the Wizards. Tip off 4 p.m. 4:05. +6 Wizards, -6 76ers. I'm going with the Wizards, man. I don't usually pre-bet, but I want to pre-bet today. And, I'll probably put $200-$300 on it. I think even if they lose a game, they'll cover the 6 points. I'm that confident. And just like in yesterday's game where I doubled down on the Blazers in the first half, and say they get down to just say 10-0 or 10-5, and I get them at 7.5, 8.5, I may take that as well. I may take the Wizards at 8.5. So that's kind of the approach that I'm taking to this game. Again, we're an hour out from tip off, so make sure you hit that. Wizards +6. I think Ben Simmons, they're going to keep hacking him if it's a close game. That changed the trajectory of that game. They should have won the game and just ended them, but they gave him life. And they're swinging for the fence. They ain't got nothing to lose and everything to gain. So that's why the Wizards are so dangerous. And that's why I think they'll cover the 6 points. Whether or not they win the game, I'm not sure. But I believe they will cover the +6. 4:35 tip-off. Hawks and the Knicks. They're talking that shit to each other, going back and forth. Derrick Rose saying, I'm too old for this. I'm 32. Capella saying, we're going to send y'all home. We're going to send y'all on vacation. So you already see the vibe. It's going to be rowdy in New York at the Garden today. I can't wait. That's a tough one, man. I'm going to play this game. But the better team is the Hawks, without question. Without question, they're the better team. But the Knicks at home, they may extend it and then lose in Atlanta. I could see the Knicks winning today just out pure heart and grit. Honestly, I do. So it'll be interesting. If I can get either team with +6 to 8 points, I may swing that way for sure. But I'll let you guys know as I'm live tweeting. So make sure you tune in for that. But if I just had to pick, I think the Knicks win today. But I'm going to play that game. I'm not going to pre-bet this game. Third game on the slate. The Grizzlies and Jazz. 9.5. That's a lot of points. But I think the Jazz put them out of their misery today and they just blow them out. It's one of those games where I can see it. But I'm not going to pre-bet the game either. I just want to see how these teams come out. It's win or go home for the Grizzlies. They could cover the 9.5. I'm not saying they can't, but they're not going to win the game. The Jazz are going to win this game and advance to the next round. But that's an interesting game. I think it's a blowout, but who knows? I would wait. If I can get the Utah Jazz at -5.5, that's a good number. So if the Grizzlies do get ahead, then I'd feel comfortable taking the Jazz, but I always fill it out as well. But I'd feel comfortable taking the Jazz at -5.5. And then the last game is the Clippers and the Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks are +7.5, and the Clippers are -7.5. I'm taking the Mavericks to cover the spread. They may lose this game, but if Luka plays, they have a chance without question. And I think Rick Carlisle is 48-23 after a blowout loss by 20 points or more while coaching the Mavericks. I'm going to take those odds. Because they'll come out and put up a strong showing. I don't see them getting blown out. It's going to be a close game. I think the Clippers do win the game ultimately, but the Mavericks +7.5, I think it's a lock. I'm going to wait a little bit and see if the Clippers get up to a nice little start and then take the Mavericks then. But I'll let you guys know, I'm 50-50 on whether or not I take that pre-bet, but I do like it. I do like it a lot. But I'll let you guys know for sure. But if you're like, yeah, I'm taking the Mavericks for show, like, yeah, like, I'm not saying don't take it. Like, I like that. Like, I like them to cover that spread. So, it's the last game, yo. How's everybody doing? Whew. We got through it, man. We got through it. So, yeah. So, again, just to recap everything, I like the Wizards +6. I want to end play the Hawks game, but I do think the Knicks will win the game. And then the Hawks will eventually close it out and probably blow them out in Game 6. And then the Jazz, I think the Jazz will blow them out. But if you can get them at, again, -5.5, -4.5, anything around there, I would take that. I don't think it'll get there, but you never know. The Grizzlies do start off strong, but then they kind of let up because they're not very experienced. And again, the Jazz are really, really good. Like, they're a very explosive team. And they played great team basketball. So the Jazz will win the game. And then the Mavericks, again, I'm taking it +7.5 probably. But I might wait a little bit to see if I can get a better number, like a +9, +10, but we'll see. I do think the Clippers win the game, though. So if he's just going to parlay like everybody money line, I would take the Hawks out of it just because it's such a close game. You don't know, but if it's a 3-game parlay, shit, man. Even with the Sixers, I don't even know if they won the game today, to be honest with you. But if you had to, probably Sixers, Clippers, Jazz, 3-game parlay, money line. I'm gonna put 100 on that. It's just, you just don't know what the Clippers are like. What Clipper team is showing up? The Clipper from the first 2 games or the Clipper from the last 2 games? You know what I'm saying? So they're so unpredictable. That's why it's so scary to bet on that team. But yes, I'm very confident today on the Sixers. Sorry, on the Wizards covering that spread. But again, if you can get the Wizards, say like at a +7.5, +8.5, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. And yes, and I do like the Mavericks. I do like the Mavericks to cover the spread. Either way, that's gonna do it, y'all. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you stay tuned for my Keon Johnson breakdown. And then I'm in between Springer, Kuminga, and not Moses Moody, but who else do I got on my list? I got somebody else that I'm supposed to do soon. But yeah, man, I'm gonna try to get like 15 to 20 done. It's just a lot of research for a lot of work to get them done, but it is what it is. And I appreciate you guys on behalf of the entire CK family. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Probably tonight. Maybe. Let you guys know. Peace.